BallGame Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios. With over 750,000 views in 2022, we are where you need to advertise. Please subscribe to our Worthy Road Studios YouTube channel and join the other 4,000 subscribers watching local sports, including Union University, USJ, TCA, Jackson Christian, and Peabody. Our multi-camera broadcasts include slow motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers. Thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible. BallGame Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios, the premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee.
Live from Overton Stadium on the campus of University School of Jackson, BallGame Blitz Sports Network and Worthy Road Studios proudly present USJ Bruins baseball. And this morning it is USJ against the Chester County Eagles. I'm Steve Beverly, and it's good to have you all with us here on the network. We have a temperature of about 75 degrees as we start the game, 65% humidity, and we got a south wind blowing at about 8 miles an hour. It is a gorgeous day for baseball, but the issue that we're going to have is later tonight. But we're going to get baseball in easily today, and we're going to open with the starting lineups. And Kurt Salmon's being introduced, the left fielder, then Max Kilburn, the catcher. Nash Kilburn, the right fielder. Clennon Harden, he'll be hitting cleanup at shortstop. Wyatt Hondo Scott, the center fielder, hitting fifth. In the sixth spot is Maddox Rabin, the first baseman. Jackson Sills, the designated hitter, and Brooks Jones, the second baseman. And in the 9 spot, Logan Foster at third. Chase Gardner, the pitcher, will not be hitting during the course of the game. And then for Chester County, batting first, Jace Goff, the shortstop, followed by Brooks Johnson, the catcher. In third, the third baseman, Hunter McLemore. At cleanup is the designated hitter, Caleb Cole. Evan Shippers, the first baseman, batting fifth. Kyson Taylor, the second baseman, is hitting sixth. In the 7th spot is Ethan Burks, the right fielder. And Case Couples, the left fielder, batting 8th, and batting 9th, Aiden Timby, the center fielder. Let's take a brief 60-second break, and then we'll be back with the start of today's game.
Tired of going to the dealerships only to see empty spaces? Then come to Carlock Nissan of Jackson. We have over 60 new vehicles in stock and more coming in daily. You can see, feel, and of course smell that new car smell. Save up to $8,600 off MSRP on a new Nissan. Plus, special APR financing as low as 1.9%. It's all at Carlock Nissan of Jackson. You should already be here.
Mention BallGame Blitz Sports Network and receive a free gift.
Last night, if you were with us, the Bruins had a hard luck one. They gave up 2 runs in the 3rd inning to Kirk Academy from Grenada, Mississippi. Had opportunities in the 4th, 5th, and 6th to make a rally. They got 1 run in the 5th. Once they had the bases loaded with nobody out and could only get the 1 run in, and ended up losing 2-1. It was in the 7th inning, one of those weird endings that all 3 batters came to the plate and hit the first pitch, and they were right at someone. And so it was a tough night, and the Bruins are hoping to rebound today. Chase Gardner is on the mound. Our understanding is that he is probably going to only throw about 25 or 30 pitches here today because he is going to be the starter on senior night on Monday evening here at Overton Stadium. So we'll take a look at that and see how that happens. And McKinley Hopkins is on the mound for Chester County. And this was one of those that they barely had enough time to get a good night's sleep and get back out here to the field today, because we finished up last night at approximately 9:10. It was a pretty fast-moving game because it was a pitcher's duel, and standing in first is Jace Goff, the shortstop. And we are about set to go. Chase getting ready with his wind, and here we go, the first pitch of the game. And a little bit low for ball one. Nope, that was a late call for strike one. No balls and a strike. I'm going to have to be patient, I can tell, on this umpire's signal. And that one, a little low, one ball, one strike. Tell you, for Saturday morning baseball, you couldn't have ordered up anything any better than this. And that one's a little bit high. 2 balls and a strike. Goff will be followed by the catcher, Brooks Johnson, and the third baseman, Hunter McLemore. And the pitch. Inside, ball 3. Yeah, we are hoping to avoid, again, dodge some bullets that some other areas around us have not in the last 4 weeks. That one's in there for strike 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. We got a full count. Predictions around 10 o'clock tonight. It could get rather nasty here in West Tennessee, and that one is fouled off down the right field line. Midnight is supposed to be the peak period of the storms that will be coming over from Arkansas. So everybody be tuned to your favorite weather source tonight, because you can expect there will be some severe thunderstorm warnings. And that was low for ball 4. So first batter gets on base with a base on balls, and that brings up the catcher, Brooks Johnson, as Goff trots down to first base. Johnson, the left-hander, going against the right-handed pitching of Chase Gardner. So if our information is correct, Chase will probably go maybe about 2 innings. And that one just misses, a ball and no strikes. This game moved up to 11 o'clock because they got prom night this evening at USJ, and that one is a one-hopper, and going to second with it, on to first, a little bit late. He had a little trouble getting it out of his glove, but they got the lead runner. So score that one 4-6. Johnson goes down to first with a fielder's choice. And here comes McLemore, the third baseman. He's a right-hander. So that was a heads-up play by Brooks Jones at second base. For a minute, that ball was tagged, and it looked like it was going to be lined into center field, but he was on top of the play. And Gardner winds with the runner on first, and it's a bit inside. Ball and no strikes, 1 out here in the top half of the first inning. Don't see much of a cloud in the sky around us. That may change before we get to the end this afternoon, because those clouds are starting to form probably around the 1 o'clock hour. And I know, considering what's happened over the last 3 weeks in West Tennessee, a lot of you are attuned to that. There's a hard drive into left field, and that's going to move the runner. That's going to go all the way back to the wall. And he's going to stay on third and just barely got back. Johnson thought about going home, and he just barely got back in there. So it's a stand-up double for Hunter McLemore. And that brings up the designated hitter, Caleb Cole. And he's got runners at second and third. Fly ball would bring home a run, and if he dropped one out there into right center field, probably get both of them home. That one goes inside for a ball. Gardner taking his time and the wind. And the pitch. Down into the dirt, ball 2. Evan Shippers, the first baseman, will be next for Mike Goff's Eagles. Did a good job of getting this field back ready for this morning's game. Last night, pretty quickly, we played that one in about 2 hours and 14 minutes. And the pitch, that one is sliced. Foul down the left field line. It's 3:20 down the lines here at Overton Stadium. And this park really is just set up almost like the best of the minor league parks that you see around the country. 2 balls and a strike with 1 out and 2 on. So a little bit of an early jam for Chase Gardner. And the pitch. Tried that changeup and it didn't go down. 3 balls and a strike. Not really paying a lot of attention to the runners right here. The 3-1 coming from Gardner. And that one's tapped foul down the first base line. 3 balls and 2 strikes. He's gone full. And if they hold him to about 30 pitches today, he may not be in there in the second inning. All right, the left-hander steps back in, and we're ready to go. Eagles got their base runners with a walk and a double. And the pitch. And that one is going to bend foul, out of play. So we're going to recalculate it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. We've got a few more folks trickling in here to Overton. Taking a lot of time between pitches. And he delivers. Just inside for ball 4. So that loads them up for Shippers, the first baseman. Had a few fans from Chester County who have made the trip up from Henderson this morning. We could be close to 80 degrees by the time this finishes. We get to the 1 o'clock hour. Prediction is around 79 to 80 here in the middle part of West Tennessee. Well, this is unusual. Now it's low. Now they put him on. Well, I think we were fooled just like everybody else here in the press box was. We thought he was already down for a walk, and so apparently that was ball 4. Now they've loaded him up, and Shippers stands in. And the pitch, and that one's fouled back into the screen for strike 1. It's a significantly more humid day than it was when we were here last night or started in the late afternoon. Humidity about 65%. The wind's really not a huge factor, though. And that's a strike. No balls and 2 strikes. This will be a great time for him to get his first strikeout with the bases jammed. Trying to get his sign. Now he likes what he sees. And he delivers. That one's way high for ball 1. So a rather long first half inning here, but nobody has crossed the plate for Chester County. And all the damage has been done with only 1 hit. Had 2 walks. And here's the pitch. And that's going to be Potentially a double. Nope. It's going to get away from the second baseman, and that is going to bring in 2 runs. So charge that as an error to the shortstop. And runners are now on first and third, and 2 runs score. And they bring in Johnson comes in, and McLemore comes in. And that brings up Kyson Taylor, the second baseman. There's not an RBI on either of those because it was on an error. So and last night was a bit of an issue for the Bruins. They had some throwing errors that opened up the opportunity for the 2 runs that Kirk Academy had last night. The pitch. And there's a high foul, and it is bending back, and it just got away from the third baseman. It looked for a moment as if it was going to go out of play, and then it sliced back in his direction. It was almost like you were seeing somebody hit a draw on a golf course. So Taylor, a ball and a strike with runners at first and third and 2 runs in. And the pitch, and the runner's going, and they will never get him. So Shippers makes his way on the stolen base to second, and Caleb Cole is down at third. And the pitch. And got him to go around on that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes with runners both in scoring position. Ethan Burks, the right fielder, would be next. And the wind by Gardner, and the pitch. And that one's fouled out of play. There were a few folks walking down toward the concession area and gave it a look, but it was significantly away from them. So Chase takes his wind and the pitch, and that one's popped up high in the infield. And underneath it and takes it. The second baseman, Brooks Jones, for out number 2. So here comes Burks, the right fielder. He's hitting right-handed as well. And here's where Chase wants to keep the damage to 2 runs right now. Case Couples, the left fielder, would be next. This is the 7th Eagle to hit in this inning. And there's a strike. No balls and a strike, and 2 down. No shadows affecting the field right now. We're getting close to high noon, and so this is going to be absolutely perfect weather for that. Ball and a strike. And the pitch. Inside for ball 1, ball 2. Pardon me. 2 balls and a strike. And he looks back at the runner on second and delivers. Inside and low, 3 balls and a strike. He gets on. We're going to be loaded up again for Couples. And Burks awaits the 3-1 delivery. And here it comes. And it's low and gets away just barely from the catcher. And so Burks gets on with a walk. That's the 3rd walk of the inning. And Case Couples checks in, and Danny Giles is coming out to the mound. Max Kilburn's going to join him. And I think they've had the 30 pitches in there, and so he's coming out. And he's just struggled with his control a bit today. And so coming in relief is Rory Jones. And we'll take a 60-second break and be back after this call to the bullpen.
Ready for spring cleaning? Don't forget your HVAC system. Somebody needs to clean out all that dust and grime, and that somebody is us. Let McCoy's Heating and Air professionally clean your system so cool air can flow where it needs to go. Schedule now and you can get your cleaning for only $90. Call McCoy's Heating and Air at 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com. McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians.
Carlac Prestige is not your typical used car dealer. We have everything from a Porsche to this, and lots more. We inspect and repair all our vehicles. Ask us to prove it. We will.
Carlac Prestige, Van Drive, Jackson.
At Arrington Funeral Directors, we accept all prearranged funerals. So you may have prearranged your funeral in this town with another funeral home or even in another state, but we accept all prearranged funerals because we're here to serve families.
Rory Jones is in relief of Chase Gardner. 2/3 of an inning for Chase. He only gave up 1 hit, but 3 walks. He just had some control issues, and they were only going to pitch him about 30 pitches today because he's scheduled to start on Monday night for senior night here at Overton Stadium. So we've got the bases loaded. Jones has got a jam to try to get out of with 2 out. And Case Couples, the left fielder, is up and seeing if he can expand this 2-run lead, and it's well outside for ball 1. No place to put him. Aiden Timby, the center fielder, will be next. And here comes the 1-0 from Jones. And he went around on one that was outside. A ball and a strike. Glad to have all of you aboard who couldn't make it here this morning for today's game. And he fires one that is a bit low. 2 balls and a strike. BallGame Blitz Sports Network, powered by Worthy Road Studios, bringing you all the action here from Overton Stadium and all of the athletic action every day almost during the week, during spring sports. And that one dips low, and we are now at 2-1, and the base is still jammed. The wind and the pitch. That one outside. No, it's ball 4. So he brings in a run and give an RBI to Couples. That's the 4th walk of the inning. And as just about anybody in baseball will tell you, that is where you get in all kinds of problems with those bases on balls. So it's a 3-0 game, and the pitch is outside for ball 1. Aiden Timby is the first player I've seen in a long, long time in baseball wearing number 88. And Jones trying to get out of this one without any more damage. There's a strike for evening it up at 1-1. So they have batted around in this first inning and put 3 on the board with only 1 hit. This is the one Jones absolutely has to have because you don't want this one to get out of hand here in the first inning. And the pitch goes down into the dirt. Nobody's going to be able to advance. Max was really on top of that one as it slid away. It's 2 balls and a strike, and again, no place to put Timby. And the leadoff hitter, Jace Goff, would be next for a second trip to the plate in this inning. And the wind, the pitch. And that one's low, and Max digs that one back out, but we're at a 3-1 count. And with 2 down, this is where it's got to happen. Jones takes his sign from Kilburn. And the pitch. Outside for ball 4, and so give Timby an RBI on his bases loaded walk. And that brings in Evan Shippers with run number 4. And so the Bruins have had a rough go of it with 5 walks in this inning, a double and an error. And so that's going to be it for Rory Jones. He pitched actually no innings and walked 2. So he's going to check out, and while he does, let's check in with our sponsors for a 60-second break, and we'll tell you what's going on with this call to the bullpen.
Fleet Feet, your locally owned source for the best shoes for school, work, running, and everyday comfort. They offer a 3D scan of your feet and professional fitting. Fleet Feet sells the top-selling brands Hoka, On Cloud, and Brooks. To add comfort to your spikes or other performance shoes, let Fleet Feet fit you for a pair of arch support inserts. Get the quality you want and the service you deserve at Fleet Feet in Jackson on Oilwell Road beside Walgreens.
At Dynamics Physical Therapy, we help our clients get back to doing what they love. Dynamics is now serving communities throughout West Tennessee.
Here's the third pitcher of the first inning for the Bruins. That's Logan Foster, who has taken over in relief of Rory Jones, who was in relief of Chase Gardner. They've only given up 1 hit to the Eagles, but 5 walks and an error. The only hit was Hunter McLemore's double, and that has allowed the Eagles to bat around in the first inning. And here's the 10th one to the plate, and that is Jace Goff. He walked his first time up and scored. So Foster trying to get out of this one and delivers, and that one goes a bit low for ball 1. They absolutely want to get this one down and hold it to 4 here, and that one's high, ball 2. They've just had a hard time finding the plate here in the first inning. And as we saw his first time up, Goff's a very patient hitter, and he took that walk. And strike 1, so it's 2 balls and a strike. That one hit the outside corner. The runners taking their leads on all 3 bases and the pitch. That one is fouled away. So we're at 2-2 with 2 out and the bases full. Brooks Johnson, the catcher, would be next. And the wind and the pitch. And that one is a lazy fly ball, and Maddox Rabin under it takes it for out number 3. But not before Chester County came up with 4 runs on only 1 hit. There were 5 walks and 1 error, and 3 men left on base. We've played a half inning at Overton Stadium, and it is the Eagles 4 and the Bruins just now coming into bat.
Thompson & Smith, the area's premier independent insurance brokerage, has been serving families and businesses in the region through its founding companies since 1927. With their many insurance company partners, Thompson & Smith provides insurance products for family, home and auto, contractors, retailers, restaurants, manufacturers, medical and dental clinics, as well as any other business or organization seeking quality coverage, risk management expertise, and customer-focused service. Call them today to discuss your insurance needs.
Are you looking to build a career? Build a career with West Tennessee's own H&M Company. H&M is a leading coast-to-coast industrial design and construction firm for Fortune 500 companies. Founded in Milan in 1957 and headquartered in Jackson, H&M is actively hiring in all areas of construction and engineering. Visit us at hmcompany.com to start building your career today.
Now, McKinley Hopkins has been staked to a 4-1. I'm going to get that out eventually. This is Saturday morning. A 4-run lead without even throwing a pitch, so he's taking his warm-up tosses. Kurt Sammons, the left fielder, will be up first, followed by Max Kilburn and Nash Kilburn, as the Bruins hope they can be able to cut back into this 4-0 lead. They've been having to play from behind a lot the last 2 weeks. And we remind you, the BallGame Blitz Sports Network will bring you at 3 o'clock this afternoon the game between Jackson Christian and Kirk Academy, which was the team that the Bruins took on last night in an excellent pitching duel that Kirk won 2-1. And the left-hander, Kurt Sammons, stands in, and this is where the Bruins want to try to make this one. And he drives one over to the second baseman. This is going to be an easy throw over to first for out number 1. So 1 pitch, 1 out. It's almost like the way we ended last night's game with 3 pitches and 3 outs. That'll bring up the catcher, Max Kilburn. Last night, he had a good evening. He was 2 for 4. He had 2 singles, but they couldn't bring him in. Max and Nash did a lot to try to get a rally going twice last night. That one's outside for ball 1. Nash had 3 singles last night. And that one is a hard hit ball to the third baseman. He's going to try the long throw to first. An excellent throw by Hunter McLemore for out number 2. That was a hard hit ball. And here's Nash Kilburn, the right fielder. So Nash wants to try to see if he can start a 2-out rally. And that one down a bit low for ball 1. Nash hitting .367 on the season. And the pitch, and just missed hitting him. It looked from our vantage point like he was just about to be grazed on the shoulder, but he backed out of the way. 2 balls and no strikes with 2 out. And the pitch from Hopkins is outside for ball 3. And Nash will probably be taking this pitch all the way. And it is inside for ball 4, so he walked him on 4. And that brings up Clennon Harden, the shortstop. And last night, let's look at Clennon's totals. He had 2 singles last night. Went 2 for 3. And the pitch. And that gets the inside corner for strike 1. Nash gets his lead over at first. Always a threat to go. And there's a high fly ball going into foul territory. And the third baseman gives chase to it. So that's just a long strike. So it's no balls and 2 strikes to Harden. Hopkins gets his sign, looks back over at Kilburn. Just outside for ball 2, so it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Has to be frustrating when you only give up one hit but 4 runs in the opening inning and put yourself in that kind of a hole. And that one is going to be bouncing ball to the great play by the shortstop. Picked it up on 2 hops, and Jace Goff steps on the bag. That's a 6 unassisted for out number 3. So it was no runs on no hits. There was 1 error and 1 man left on base. And so your score at the end of an inning is Chester County 4, USJ nothing.
Turn to the experts. Since 1955, Garrett Plumbing and Heating has been the leader in plumbing, heating, and air conditioning service and installation for West Tennessee. A proud supporter of USJ Bruin Athletics, we are your local Carrier Factory authorized dealer. Call Garrett Plumbing and Heating 668-3339 for all of your plumbing, heating, and air needs.
For anyone contemplating pre-planning, we can tell you from our experience, it's much easier to make funeral plans and record them now than wait until emotions are running at their highest.
With pre-planning, you can free your mind and heart from having to make big decisions during a time of grief and instead enjoy the freedom to focus on the memories of a life well lived.
So we're going to the top half of the 2nd inning with Chester County on top 4-0. And Logan Foster on the mound. 3rd pitcher of the morning for the Bruins. And he's going to face Brooks Johnson up first. Brooks reached base with a fielder's choice and scored in the 1st inning when the Eagles sent 10 players to the plate. And Foster with his first pitch. And he gets the corner for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. And the wind and the pitch. That's high. Ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. And he gets that inside corner, a ball and 2 strikes to Brooks Johnson. Logan during this season is a good rhythm pitcher. Once he gets the feel out there, and he really gets a lot of confidence. And that one is going to be sliced, foul, and out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hunter McLemore, the 3rd baseman, who has the only hit of this game, will follow, and then the designated hitter, Caleb Cole. And got him out. Got a good curveball on that one for the first strikeout of the game for the Bruins. And here comes McLemore. As we say, he doubled and scored. And that was back in the 1st inning with that 4-run opening inning for the Eagles, and the pitch. And that one goes inside for a ball. Here's where you'd love to have a 1-2-3 inning and then get your team back up and have a chance to slice a bit of this lead. He forced that one a bit, a ball and a strike. He gets his sign and the wind and the pitch. All right, 2 balls and 1 strike and 1 out. Nobody on. And the pitch. And that's a high fly ball. Center fielder giving chase to it. And that goes all the way back to the wall, and he's going to be in with a stand-up double. And that's 2 in a row for McLemore. So he has really been able to deliver those extra base hits. Caleb Cole stands in, the designated hitter. He walked and scored back in the first inning. And this kid's got a lot of power. Foster looks back at the runner on second. And that's in there for strike one. Sometimes we have some interesting things that happen up here in the booth during the game. And he gets it in the corner for strike two. No balls and 2 strikes. Feeling a good little breeze in here in the press box, and that's always nice here on a humid day, and that one's way outside for ball 1. 4 runs on 2 hits for the Eagles, and both of them have been by McLemore, who's down at second base. He shakes off one sign. Now he goes for the one he likes. And the 1-2. Outside, ball 2. Tell you what, when you get into mid-April like it is today and you have a temperature in the mid-70s and just a slight bit of humidity, but nothing terribly uncomfortable, it's about as good as you can expect. And that one just missed on the corner. 3 balls and 2 strikes, so they've gone full to Cole. Foster started out the inning by striking out the catcher, Brooks Johnson. And now here comes the 3-2. And that one's tapped foul. Just got a piece of it. And Cole stands back in. Shippers, the first baseman, would be next. Looks back at second, and the pitch. And that one's a hard hit ball, but it sliced foul. It's way down the first base line. So Cole will take another payoff pitch. Foster delivers, and there's a drive that is going way back there, and it's going all the way back to the wall. That's going to score another run. So a stand-up double for Caleb Cole. And Hunter McLemore comes in with run number 5, and so an RBI for Cole, and that brings up the first baseman, Evan Shippers. Boy, the heart of the order has been delivering for the Eagles in just the first inning and a half. Kyson Taylor, the second baseman, would be next. Shippers reached base on an error in the 5th inning, and he scored as well on a bases-loaded walk. And that one is bending foul out of play. No balls and a strike now. 5 runs and 3 hits for Chester County. They're bunching them together. Foster takes his time. And the pitch. That's inside for ball 1. So we got a 1-1 count, runner on second. And Cole takes a modest lead off of second. And the pitch. And that's another high fly ball, but the center fielder is going to take about 4 steps back, pick that one up, and the runner is going to advance to third. So a sacrifice fly for Evan Shippers to center field, and that sends Cole 90 feet away from home plate. Kyson Taylor flied out to the second baseman, his first time up. And at the rate they're going, they're going to get a lot of at-bats today in this one. And here's the pitch. Right down in there for strike one call. Taylor would be followed by the right fielder, Ethan Burks. Going from the stretch. And got it in there again for strike two. If he can hold them to a single run in this inning, it'll be a cause for celebration. And the way the Bruins hit, an opportunity to really get back in this one. That one's tap foul. Kind of stung Taylor just a bit. I think that thing may have come back and actually grazed his wrist. So he faces an 0-2 count with 2 out and a runner on third. And Foster with the delivery. And just got a piece of it and it goes back to the screen. And so we're still at 0-2. And here's the wind and the pitch. And that one goes to the... Nice job on that one by Brooks Jones, making a shoestring catch for out number 3. And that's twice Taylor has either lined out or flied out to Jones. And so in that inning, there was 1 run on 2 hits, both of them doubles. No errors and 1 man left on base. So the score at the end of an inning and a half, Chester County 5, USJ nothing.
King Jewelers is not your typical run-of-the-mill jewelry store. Grover is a certified jeweler with 35 years experience. This isn't just a jewelry store. It's an iconic symbol of love. How far would you go for love? King Jewelers, 16B Conrad Drive, Jackson.
Ready for spring cleaning? Don't forget your HVAC system. Somebody needs to clean out all that dust and grime, and that somebody is us. Let McCoy's Heating and Air professionally clean your system so cool air can flow where it needs to go. Schedule now and you can get your cleaning for only $90. Call McCoy's Heating and Air at 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com. McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians.
Going to the bottom half of the second, and Wyatt Scott, Hondo, will be up to the plate, followed by Maddox Rabin and Jackson Sills. As the Bruins want to try to start a rally, down 5-0 here, and they're bottom half of the inning. Now let's check out how Hondo did last night. He struck out twice and hit into a fielder's choice, and the first pitch is a strike. Got to feel good if you're a pitcher, though, and you get staked to a 5-run lead this early in the game, and that one's fouled out of play. So no balls and 2 strikes to Wyatt Scott. And the pitch. And that one's a slow roller to the second baseman. Fires on to first, and they nip him at first base. So 1 away, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Maddox Rabin. Of course, Monday night, Maddox had the heroics, hitting the game-winning single that brought in the 2 runs to win it, 13-12, over Fayette Academy. Maddox got on base once last night, but they couldn't bring him in. He's facing an 0-1 count now against McKinley Hopkins. And the pitch. High fly ball. That's going to stay in play, and the catcher is under it and takes it for out number 2. Picked it back up in foul territory, and now Jackson Sills, the designated hitter. Now we're getting cloud cover to begin to move in the area. That's not unexpected. In fact, by the time 1 o'clock comes, there's some forecasts that will be completely overcast, that the sun will be out of here. And that's in advance of what is expected to be at least some severe weather this evening in the late evening hours. A ball and no strikes to Jackson Sills. And that one low, 2 balls and no strikes. Bruins haven't been able to get a hit. Their only base runner, Nash Kilburn, in the first inning with a walk. And the pitch. He's a hard-throwing pitcher and got it in there for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. He's got an impressive fastball. And Hopkins delivers. Outside for ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. Brooks Jones, the second baseman, would be next. And the pitch. And that's going to go to the third baseman. He's going to have to hurry with this one. The long throw, and they tag him and get him out. Sharp fielding on the part of Chester County. That one goes 5-3. And so it's no runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. And at the end of 2, Chester County on top of the Bruins, 5-0.
Football looks fun. I bet I would have been great at it. The first football playing Deer, they would have made a movie about me and everything. Probably get Kurt Russell to play me. But alas, me and my dreams run right over again.
For fast, reliable collision repair, trust the experts at Mitchell's Body Shop. And get back out there.
We offer live webcasting for families. It kind of came out of when so many warriors were going overseas to war. We have learned to offer families more choices, that we want to serve our families well and serve our families better.
And getting ready to go to the top half of the third inning, and our temperature's up to about 78 degrees here at Overton Stadium. And this is where it really begins to feel like springtime, and you get a small breezy day like this, and temperature not quite at 80 degrees, and this is about as much as you like for it to be before it starts beginning to be uncomfortable in the stands. That wind kicking up now about 10 miles an hour. And this is Ethan Burks, the right fielder. And first pitch for a strike. He walked his first time up. And that's high and outside for ball 1. Logan Foster now pitching in his third inning of relief. And he delivers. And that one just a bit low, so it's 2 balls and a strike. Outfield playing him pretty well straight away. And hard throwing pitch outside. 3 balls and a strike. Yeah, he called it strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He has one of those 2-second delays on his calls. And that makes it 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody on, nobody out. And Burke's trying to see if he can walk his second straight time, and he got him looking on that one, and he shook his head no, but the umpire said yes. That is the second strikeout for Logan Foster, and he just caught that inside corner. Case Couples, the left fielder, he walked his first time up. It was a bases loaded walk, so he got an RBI, and that one goes down into the dirt and gets away from Max Kilburn. Ball and no strikes. Well, that's one of those where the batter thinks, okay, I'm headed down to first base, and you get an umpire who has a delayed call like that, and it really fools him. And he shook his head as he went back to the dugout. 2 balls and no strikes to Couples. And that one is tap foul, and it actually hit right in the batter's box, so it's no play. 2 balls and a strike. We had such a pleasant night for baseball last night. Just could not have been ordered any better. And that one is going to be a high foul out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Aiden Timby, the center fielder, would be next. And the stretch and the pitch. And that one goes down into the dirt. 3 balls, 2 strikes. We've gone full. And you can see Foster shaking off the signs. Now he delivers. Outside for ball 4. So Couples walks for the second time. And that brings Timby up, who himself, he walked, had a bases-loaded walk with an RBI, his first time up in the first. And he'll be followed by the shortstop, Jace Goff. But they really would love to get a double play out of this one. This is one of those things that you look at situational baseball. That one is right down in there for strike 1. And look at every possibility that can happen. The wind and the pitch. That's in there again for strike 2. So no balls and 2 strikes with a runner down at first and 1 out. And you got to know, he goes over to first. That was kind of a close play. So Logan keeping his runner honest down at first. And Timby steps back in. And the pitch. And there's a drive that is going into left center field. It's going all the way back to the wall. This one could score a run. Now they're going to hold him up. Well, he's going to come in. There was some hesitation on that one, and so it's an RBI double for Aiden Timby. That's his second RBI of the game. Couples comes in to score run number 6. And that'll bring up Jace Goff, the shortstop, who has walked and flied out to the first baseman. And we're in the third, and this is already his third time up to the plate. And the pitch. Good fastball, but just a bit high. Ball and no strikes. So runner on second. And the pitch. And that one hit the outside corner. Ball and a strike to Goff. Brooks Johnson, the catcher, is on deck. And the pitch. Right down in there for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Goff. Eagles now with 6 runs on 5 hits. The Bruins have not been able to get a hit so far, and they've only had 1 base runner. And you want to keep this one from getting out of hand any more than it is. And Foster stands in. Takes his time in the wind and the pitch. Just inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The damage that was done in the first inning, in that 4-run inning, was largely on the basis of 5 walks. They only had 1 hit in that inning, and that was a double by McLemore. And there goes a hard hit ball to the shortstop. Runner goes back to second, but they fire on to Maddox Rabin for out number 2, and that brings up the catcher, Brooks Johnson. He is 0 for 2. He reached base on a fielder's choice and scored on an error in the first inning and then struck out in the second. So the left-hander stands in with a runner still on second. And Foster delivers. That's down low for a ball. Remember, you can see all of the action. If you missed any part of it, you can see it after the game on the Worthy Road Studios YouTube channel or on Facebook on BallGame Blitz or Worthy Road Studios. And the pitch. And that's a lazy fly into left field. And coming on charging hard was Kurt Sammons to make the catch for out number 3. So they were able to hold them down to 1 run. On 1 hit, they had a walk, no errors, and 1 man left on base. So the score now at the end of 2.5 innings, it's the Eagles 6, the Bruins nothing.
Buying a home is a major milestone, and at the Bank of Jackson, we want to help you achieve it. Our mortgage specialists can assist you with conventional, VA, FHA, or construction loans, as well as USDA and THDA development loans. Serving the Jackson area for 25 years. The Bank of Jackson, your down-home community bank. You belong here. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Dynamics Physical Therapy, your elite provider in sports medicine and performance. Now serving communities throughout West Tennessee.
Now McKinley Hopkins has been staked to a 6-0 lead, and he'll face Brooks Jones, the relief pitcher Logan Foster, and Kurt Sammons here in the bottom half of the third. The Eagles need to continue their strong pitching, and for the Bruins, they want to get some base runners. Only a walk to Nash Kilburn so far. And let's take a look and see what Jones did last night. He reached base on a fielder's choice. Actually scored on a fielder's choice. He had a double last night against Kirk Academy. Struck out and flied out, so he was 1 for 3 last night, and he scored the only run for the Bruins in the 2-1 loss to Kirk Academy. And here's the pitch. And that one goes right through, and it hits the bag and goes into right field. It hit the pitcher, hit second base, and then went into right field. So it's the first hit of the game for the Bruins. That looked like a pinball machine where you use the flipper and have it go in every possible direction. And thankfully, in this time, it didn't go tilt. So let's see if the Bruins can get something going. Logan Foster, the pitcher. He started out at third base to begin today's game. Ball and no strikes with Jones down at first. Man, giving him a few look-backs, and finally, Foster decides to step out. And the pitch. And that one's lined, and the second baseman with a nice play snags it on to first for out number 1. He's made a couple of really good diving plays here so far. And here's Kurt Salmons, the left fielder. He grounded out 4-3 his first time out. It was another excellent play by the second baseman, Kyson Taylor. Ball and no strikes. And you've got Jones down at second. And the pitch. And there you go. That's a lazy fly ball that drops in, and he's going to come in to score. So Brooks comes in to score the first run for the Eagles on the base hit by Kurt Salmons. Now that'll bring up Max Kilburn, the catcher. He grounded out his first time up. But let's see if the Eagles can put a few more on the base paths. Nash Kilburn will follow. One out. And you've got Salmons down at first. That's a bit high for ball one. So it's a 6-1 game now. The Bruins with their first two hits of the game in this inning. Kilburn awaits the delivery, and that one is right down in there for strike one. Down 5 runs. It's debatable whether Salmons is going to try to take off on one, and that one is going to get into right center field, and he's going to move all the way to third. Nice job of base running by Kurt Salmons to go all the way to third on that one. So runners are on first and third, and the Bruins have 3 hits in the inning. And here's Nash Kilburn. He walked. He was the first base runner for the Bruins back in the first inning. Let's see if we can get Nash, Clennon, Harden, Wyatt Scott, Maddox, all of them up in this inning. So 3 hits in the inning, and that one's in there for strike one. And now we got runners on the corners. And a pretty good lead down at first by Max Kilburn. And one around on that one. No balls and 2 strikes. They've been doing a better job in this inning of waiting on a good pitch. The wind and the pitch. And there's a drive into shallow right field and drops in for a base hit, and that's going to bring in another run. And it looked like the right fielder might have just misjudged that one a bit, and so it drops in for a base hit, and Nash gets an RBI, and we've got a 6-2 game as Kurt Salmons comes in. So the Kilburns are on first and second, and here's Clennon Harden. He flied out to the shortstop his first time up, and that one's outside and low for ball one. So now the Bruins have had a bit of a wake-up call, and let's see if they can add to that with one out. And that one's fouled back to the screen, a ball and a strike. Hondo Wyatt Scott will be next. They managed to get the ball into the gaps in the outfield here in this third inning. And the pitch, and there you go. That one's going into left field for a base hit. And they're going to wave him, and he's going to have to get back quickly. Danny Giles was going to wave Max Kilburn, and he was a little bit tentative about whether to come home, and so he fortunately stayed at third, so we've got him jammed. So Clennon Harden with the 5th hit. All of them have been in this inning. They've got 5 hits, and now with the bases loaded, a big situation for Hondo. And the pitch. And that one's fouled back to the screen. No balls and a strike. Bruins have got them everywhere. And the alarm clock has gone off in this inning. And so has the, just on our cue, there comes the emergency warning siren that is always going off at 12 noon on Saturday. And there's a drive way back there, and that's going to go back all the way to the wall. 2 runs are going to score, and they're going to hold him up at third. Big drive and a stand-up double for Wyatt Scott. So the Bruins have put 4 across here in this third inning to make it a 6-4 game. And they're going to come out to the mound and talk to the pitcher, because after pitching 2 solid innings, he has given up 6 hits here in the third. Sometimes my timing is off, but that one was precision. Just at the moment we talked about the alarm clock going off, here comes our emergency warning siren, and I hope it does not go off tonight here in Madison County. You like to hear it when it's the warning to know that it works, but you don't like to hear it when you're in severe weather. So here comes Maddox Rabin with runners at second and third and only 1 out. And that one's in there for strike 1 call. Bruins now with 4 runs on 6 hits, and so a 6-0 game. The lead has been sliced by 2/3. That one way high for ball 1. That one just got away from him. This is not like golf where that would be an extraordinary distraction to the players, because Wyatt, with that thing going off, and almost hit him. 2 balls and a strike. Looked for a minute that Wyatt was going to send that thing out of the park. And the pitch. That's a high fly ball, and it's going to stay in play for the catcher for out number 2. And it's almost the exact same fly area that Maddox had in the second inning when he flied out to the catcher. So here's Jackson Sills, who grounded out in the second inning. And the Bruins have now batted around. And the pitch. And that one goes in the inside corner for strike 1. So a 4 spot for USJ in the third. And we got us a ball game, and that one is going to go right back through the middle. That may score 2 runs, and they're going to send him, and he is in there. They have tied it up. Jackson Sills with a 2-run single. So we got us a brand new ball game here. And this is the 10th batter to hit, and Brooks Jones got the first hit of the game for the Bruins about 10 minutes ago. And here we go, it's 6-6. 7 hits in the inning for the Bruins. And the pitch. And that one's on the inside corner for strike 1. So they've matched what Chester County did in the first inning when they sent 10 men to the plate. Brooks is 1 for 1, that single that started this inning. And he scored on a single. A ball and a strike. And that one's tapped foul. And frustrated you can tell Brooks was on that one. That was the pitch he wanted. A ball and 2 strikes with a runner on first. That was a great job of hitting by Jackson Sills to get those 2 RBIs. And the pitch. And that one's going to the shortstop. He's going to fire it long to first, and he makes the stretch and gets him for out number 3, but not before the Bruins picked up 6 runs on 7 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. So at the end of 3, we got a brand new ball game. It's all tied up at 6.
The most important benefit when you buy from Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way? Peace of mind. Jones Chevrolet's warranty forever comes with every qualifying new and pre-owned vehicle. Powertrain coverage for as long as you own your vehicle. Find out more at Jones Chevrolet in Three-Way.
Home furnishings, appliances, bedding, and so much more. Kaufman's. At the Bypass and Oil Well Road in Jackson. Home furnishings for every room in your home. Custom upholstery options too, with professional advice. Major appliances from America's top name brands. Mattresses and bedding accessories. Outdoor living and grilling too. And our fully stocked warehouse helps prevent supply chain delays. Kaufman's, for your life.
Now, Nolan Foster, brother of Logan, comes in to pitch. And the Bruins have decided that they would make this one a brand new start, and 6 runs and 7 hits in the bottom half of the 3rd. So we go to the top half of the 4th, and Nolan will face Hunter McLemore, Caleb Cole, and Evan Shippers. What an inning that was for the Bruins, though. 10 men going to the plate and putting a big 6 spot up there. McLemore has had 2 stand-up doubles and has scored twice in this game. And he has 2 RBIs. And the pitch. And that one goes right to the third baseman. Long throw on to first. He tags him and gets him out. No, they say he did not get the tag. It looked as though Maddox reached around and made the tag, but the umpire said, no, you didn't, and so he makes it. Well, that pulled him off the bag, so score that an error on the third baseman. That's the second error of the game for the Bruins. And here comes Cole, the designated hitter. That's in there for strike 1. He's getting a modest lead over at first base. And he's going, and that one's going to get away. There's no way they're going to stop him. So pass ball. So he's in scoring position now with a 1-1 count on Cole. Cole walked in the first inning and doubled in the second. He brought home Hunter McLemore. So officially 1 for 1. He scored a run in the first inning. And Foster delivers. That's fouled out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Just a very pleasant breeze blowing out here out of the south. The thing that's not good about it is when those winds are out of the south or southwest, that means that there are dangerous times ahead with the weather being as it is right now. And he struck him out, and that's going to go into the outfield and bring home a run. He struck out, but trying to get the runner going to third, he threw it way high, and so score that. A stolen base and then an error allowed him on the catcher, allowed McLemore to be able to score. So the Eagles have taken the lead again at 7-6. That cleared the bases. That was an unfortunate thing for the Bruins because ball just simply, he would have had to have jumped higher than a pole vaulter to have come up with that one. And that one's high for ball 2. So we've got 1 out and 1 run in here in the 4th. The stretch and the pitch. And there's a drive that is going way back there. And that ball is our foul ball. Boy, that looked like it had every bit of carry and it was going to stay fair, but it went foul. So it's a ball, 2 balls and a strike. And the pitch. Goes in there for strike 2. Hit the corner, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now 7 runs and 4 hits for the Eagles. Bruins 6 runs, 7 hits, and 3 errors. And here's the 2-2. And that one's growing a rolling ball to the shortstop. Long throw on to first for out number 2. Good throw by Clennon Harden and a good stretch by Maddox Rabin. And here's Kyson Taylor, the second baseman, who has flied out to the second baseman twice. Brooks Jones has got under both of his fly balls. And with 2 out, here's the pitch. And a bit low, 1 ball, no strikes. And the wind and the pitch. That one down low. 2 balls and no strikes with 2 out, nobody on. The right fielder, Ethan Burks, would be next. And that's one in the corner. 2 balls and a strike. Want to get out of this one without any more damage. And the pitch to Taylor. And he went around on that one. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the wind and the pitch from Foster. And struck him out, and they tagged him as he went on his merry way to first base. And so, 1 run on no hits. There was an error, and no one left on base. And so at the end of 3 1/2, we're halfway through, and the Eagles lead the Bruins 7-6.
Are you looking to build a career? Build a career with West Tennessee's own H&M Company. H&M is a leading coast-to-coast industrial design and construction firm for Fortune 500 companies. Founded in Milan in 1957 and headquartered in Jackson, H&M is actively hiring in all areas of construction and engineering. Visit us at hmcompany.com to start building your career today.
Championship DNA. That's what you find at Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way. A full line of new Chevrolets plus West Tennessee's largest used car inventory. State-of-the-art service work and pre-approved auto loans online at JonesChevroletHumboldt.com. Shop with a winner. Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way.
Downtown is thriving and the Blacksmith Restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
Caleb Cole is moving in to take over as pitcher after that 6-run inning that Hopkins gave up in the 3rd. So Cole comes in from his designated hitter position, and he will face Logan Foster. And Kurt Sammons and Max Kilburn. And if the Bruins could do the same kind of damage that they did in the 3rd, that would stake Nolan Foster to a pretty good lead. Logan came in relief and did his job, particularly in the 3rd inning. And the pitch. And that's inside for a ball. getting a little bit more of a cloud cover, bordering all of the directions of Overton Stadium. And the pitch, that's inside for ball 2. I'm not going to say anything about an alarm clock again, even though I know the emergency warning siren is not going to go off again. At least I hope not. And that's outside for ball 3. So Cole has gone 3-0 to Logan Foster, and he'll be taking this pitch all the way. And high for ball 4, so he walks on 4 pitches. And that brings up Kurt Salmons, who singled and scored in that 6-run third inning. He grounded out in the first, 1 for 2 today. And the left-hander waits on the pitch, and it's high. So we've had 5 straight balls from Cole. And Foster gets his lead down at first. And the pitch. And that one outside. 2 balls and no strikes. And coming out to the mound very quickly is head coach Mike Goff. I'm going to have a discussion with him. And also joining him out on the mound is the catcher Brooks Johnson. Try to settle him down a bit, because he's thrown 6 consecutive balls. He's just had a challenge meeting the plate. If you're a Bruins fan, you enjoy seeing that. So Salmon steps back in. And the pitch. And that one's outside. It's 3-0. And this is where those bases on balls can create havoc for you. He gets his signal and delivers. And that one is in there for strike 1. 3 balls and a strike. And let's see if Kurt's going to take or if he's going to be swinging away on this one. And the pitch. And he was swinging away, and that one got around on it late, and it went out of play. So it's 3 balls and 2 strikes to the left fielder with the runner on first and nobody out. The 3-2. And he went around for strike 3. So that is the first strikeout for Cole. And now Max Kilburn. Max singled and scored on Wyatt Scott's double in the 3rd inning, grounded out in the 1st. And that one is going to be a one-hopper, and they throw to second. They can't get him at first. So it was a good job on that 4-6 play, and Max manages to make it to first base on the fielder's choice. That'll bring up Nash Kilburn. He singled and had an RBI in the 3rd inning and walked in the 1st. Nash is always close to getting on base every time he's up. And the pitch. And that's a high fly ball, and the center fielder is underneath it, takes it for out number 3. So they got a walk in the inning, but they couldn't do anything with it. So it was no runs on no hits, as we say, a walk, no errors, and 1 man left on base. So we've completed 4 from Overton Stadium. It is Chester County 7, USJ 6.
This could be a true story. On October 3rd, a 2003 hatchback struck and killed a deer that goes by the name Buck. I know, right? He now has Buck's head proudly displayed on his living room wall. He tells a different story.
Shot it.
No, he didn't.
And to hide his lie, he took his car to Mitchell's body shop.
No, I didn't.
Yes, he did. And lucky for him, they made it look good as new. And as for Buck, the story continues.
Do you want your smile to say it all? At Elite Dental Care, we'll make you and your family feel comfortable and secure with a variety of services and state-of-the-art care. We offer sedation dentistry, that will make your time in the dental chair comfortable and relaxed. Come by and see our newly renovated and expanded office in Jackson, or one of our other convenient locations in Trenton or Dyersburg. Trust your smile with Elite Dental Care, and let your smile say it all.
Nolan Foster in for his second inning of relief. He did his job quite well in the fourth with 2 strikeouts and did not allow a hit. Unfortunately, there was an error that led to the 7th run for the Eagles, and at this moment, that unearned run is what has them ahead in the game, 7-6. And he'll face the right fielder, Ethan Burks, the left fielder, Case Couples, and the center fielder, Aiden Timby. That was a nice jump out there by Brooks Jones to haul in that high throw. Burks reached base on a walk in the first inning, and he was called out on strikes in the third. So here we go on the top half of the fifth and the pitch. And he got that outside corner for strike one. And we've hit 80 degrees in the Hub City. Most people tell you that really is good baseball weather. And that one just a little bit low, ball and a strike. And the wind, and Foster delivers. And got him on a sinker. Ball and 2 strikes. This bottom half of the order has been on base a lot so far in this game. And the wind and the pitch was a hard throwing ball that went down into the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Foster's waiting on his sign. He likes what he sees, and now he delivers. Just missed, a little bit low. 3 balls and 2 strikes, so he's gone full on Burks. And the 3-2. Inside for ball 4. He was ahead of him, but ended up giving him his second walk of the game. And that is the 7th walk given up by Bruins pitching today, and that brings up Case Couples, who has been the recipient of 2 of those. He had an RBI bases-loaded walk in the first inning, and in the third, he walked and scored on a double. And tries to bunt it, and that one goes up into the stands. And it is going to make a thunderous roll down the bleachers. Bruins would love to get a double play out of this one. No balls and 1 strike. And you've got Burks down at first. And showed bunt again, and that was low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Couples are going to try to ease him over to second if he possibly can. And he's going to bunt again, and he gets it down, and pitcher's going to pick it up and go to first. They got him there, but he accomplished the mission by moving his runner down to second with the sacrifice. So score that pitcher to first baseman, and Burks on the sacrifice moves down to second. And that brings up Aiden Timby, the center fielder. He's been on twice. And he's had 2 RBIs. He had a bases-loaded walk and a double that brought in a run in the third inning. And the pitch in. He thought about bunting as well to get his runner over to third. Anything they could do to get just another insurance run. That one was outside, a ball and no strikes. Gets his sign and looks back the runner to second. And the pitch. And he had to back away from that one. 2 balls and no strikes. He was showing bunt again. Jace Goff, the shortstop, would be next. He's already been up 3 times today. Top of the 5th, 7-6, Eagles on top. And the pitch. That hit the inside corner for strike 1. 2 balls and a strike. The problem has been the 4 errors and the 7 walks for the Bruins today, because that has what really led to the heavy 4 spot in the first inning. And showing the bunt again, and it's going to get away from the catcher, and he's going to move down to third. So that probably is going to take the bunt off unless they try to do a suicide squeeze. It's a pass ball, and so Timby now faces a 3-1 count, and the infield is coming in potentially expecting that suicide squeeze. And the pitch. No, he is not showing that, and he takes ball 4. So the runners are now on the corners, and that will bring up Goff, who today is 0 for 2. He walked and scored in the 4-run first inning, and then he flied out to the first baseman and grounded out. So this is his 4th time to the plate. He's 0 for 2 officially. And he has runners on the corners. And there again, the infield is playing in. They still don't believe it. And they're going to go to second with that one. And he just did beat the throw. That was a good throw by Max Kilburn, but he just did beat it. And so now they're both in scoring position. Stolen base for Timby. 1-0 the count. And 1 out. And the pitch. Low and outside, ball 2. You don't want to see the Eagles, if you're a Bruin fan, get another multi-run rally going here in this inning. And the pitch. Right down in there for strike 1 call. 2 balls and 1 strike. This is a hitter that you really would just love to see a strikeout on. The 2-1. Got it 2-2. Hit the same spot on the corner. So this is a big pitch with runners at second and third and only 1 out. Goff awaits, and the pitch. And that one's going to go right to the pitcher, and they're not going to be able to score off of that one. And so heads up play by Foster to toss him out at first. And the runners stay at second and third. That brings up Brooks Johnson, the catcher. He reached base on a fielder's choice and scored in the first inning, struck out in the second, and flied out in the third. So he's 0 for 3 today with a run scored. And still has runners on second and third, now with 2 out. And the pitch. And that's in there for strike 1 call. And you can tell Foster's beginning to feel his energy now. He's getting into that rhythm. And here comes the 0-1. High fly ball. It's not going to get out of the infield, and the shortstop under it and takes it for out number 3. Good job of pitching out of the jam. It was no runs on no hits. You had 2 walks in the inning, no errors, and 2 men left on base. So at the end of 4.5 innings, it is the Eagles 7 and the Bruins 6.
Are you looking to build a career? Build a career with West Tennessee's own H&M Company. H&M is a leading coast-to-coast industrial design and construction firm for Fortune 500 companies. Founded in Milan in 1957 and headquartered in Jackson, H&M is actively hiring in all areas of construction and engineering. Visit us at hmcompany.com to start building your career today.
Ready for spring cleaning? Don't forget your HVAC system. Somebody needs to clean out all that dust and grime, and that somebody is us. Let McCoy's Heating and Air professionally clean your system so cool air can flow where it needs to go. Schedule now and you can get your cleaning for only $90. Call McCoy's Heating and Air at 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com. McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians.
Clinton Harden will step in for the Bruins, down 7-6. That was a good job of relief pitching, particularly in a jam by Nolan Foster, with 2 runners on with bases on balls, and managed to get out of that without any damage. And Caleb Cole is on for his second stanza on the mound. And stepping back in to take the pitches, Brooks Johnson. So here we go. Harden today is 1 for 2. He was tagged out by the shortstop, but he also had a base hit and scored in that 6-run third inning. That's when they were finding the gaps in the outfield everywhere in that third. And that one's outside for a ball. And the wind and the pitch from Cole is in there for strike 1 call. Strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. And here's the pitch. And got him swinging. Clinton was going for the downs on that one, but nothing but air. And this brings up Wyatt Scott. Hondo is 1 for 2. He grounded out in the second, but in the third hit a big double that brought home a run. Let's see if he can do that again. And that one's just a little bit inside for ball 1. Cole working very steady here and got him to go around on one. It's a good curveball. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that one hit the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Wyatt Scott. So far, Cole has struck out 2 in the game, and he delivers. And that one's inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Bruins got all 6 of their runs and all 7 hits in that third inning. The Eagles scored 4 in the first, 1 in the second, and 1 in the third. And that one's going to go right back through the middle for a base hit. Good job of hitting by Hondo. And it brings up Maddox Rabin, who has flied out to the catcher twice in virtually the same spot. And here's where you want to see Maddox, see if he can tee off on one. And the pitch inside to Maddox for ball 1. Jackson Sills, the designated hitter, would be next. And Jackson brought in 2 RBIs with a single in the third inning. And the throw to first, and he gets back easily. They'll just have to use a little bit more all detergent to get that one clean. The wind and the pitch. And that one's fouled out of play, a ball and a strike. Eric Inman, our cameraman, getting a little bit of hydration here. And the pitch. Outside for ball 2. All right, let's see if Maddox can deliver one here. And here comes the pitch. Low. Not much of a lead down at first by Hondo. But he may be moving with this pitch. And there you go. It's going 2, and it's going to go to second for 1. And on to first. It's a double play. Good job of fielding over by the third baseman, Hunter McLemore, and he went to second and then on to first for the double play. So it was no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and no one left on base. And at the end of 5, the Eagles still on top with that very tenuous 7-6 lead.
Tired of going to the dealerships only to see empty spaces? Then come to Carlock Nissan of Jackson. We have over 60 new vehicles in stock and more coming in daily. You can see, feel, and of course smell that new car smell. Save up to $8,600 off MSRP on a new Nissan. Plus, special APR financing as low as 1.9%. It's all at Carlock Nissan of Jackson. You should already be here.
Mention BallGame Blitz Sports Network and receive a free gift.
Tonight is prom night at USJ, and we certainly wish the best to everyone who will be participating in that. That's always a signature moment for any high school student, and I know they're going to be looking forward to that. They'd love to be looking forward to putting a victory on the books before that. First pitch from Foster to McLemore was a ball. 1-1. His job is basically to hold them right here where it is, to keep it to a 7-6 game and hope that the latter part of the lineup will be able to deliver something in the bottom of the 6th. And did he go around on that one? Yes. 1 ball and 2 strikes. McLemore has struck out twice. He's had 2 doubles in the game and scored twice. And that one goes down into the dugout and frankly chases Danny Giles out of the dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch. And that's going to get away, and he's going to probably make it down. They're going to fire hard to first, and that's going into the outfield, but fortunately the second baseman was there to back it up. So it's a strikeout, but he reaches first base on the pass ball. And that will bring up the pitcher, Caleb Cole. Cole struck out his last time up. He's scored once. He's walked and hit a double and had an RBI. And that's a ball for Cole. And here's where they'd love to be able to get a double play and not start another jam. 3 strikeouts so far for Nolan Foster since he came in the 4th inning. The wind and the 1-1. And the runner is going. They're going to fire down to second, and it was just way out of the range of the base. So he has made it into scoring position with a stolen base. And Cole has a 2-1 count. And we saw some of his power back in the second when he had a double. And that one is going to be out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner on second and nobody out. You see all of the USJ sports action right here on the BallGame Blitz Sports Network, powered by Worthy Road Studios. And here's your pitch. And that one is going to go into right field. Let's see if he can score the runner. And they're going to send him, and he will make it with run number 8. Cole went right with the pitch and hit the single, and so that is his second RBI of the game. And he moves the runner home, Hunter McLemore. An 8-6 game with nobody out, and Evan Shippers, the first baseman, stands in. Shippers reached base and scored in the first on an error. Hit a sacrifice fly in the second and grounded out in the fourth. And that one's tipped foul. This is a good base running team for Chester County. And Coach Goff has no hesitation to send these runners. Getting a lead down at first. And here's the 0-1. And that one is fouled out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. And here's one where you'd like to be able to get him and move on to the next one. And that one, and the runner's going, and he's not going to throw. So once again, on a pass ball, the runner moves into scoring position, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Shippers. Kyson Taylor, the second baseman, is on deck. The wind and the pitch. Outside, ball 2. It's not a major jam, giving up only the 1 run, but he's got to be able to get this guy down without any more damage. And he struck him out, and they tag him. And that is the 4th strikeout for Nolan Foster, and here's Kyson Taylor. The second baseman is 0 for 3. He's flied out twice to second base and struck out. He was Foster's second strikeout of the game. And the pitch. Right down in there for strike 1 call. 8 runs on 5 hits and no errors for the Eagles. The Bruins, 6 runs on 8 hits and 4 errors. That one's going to get away and score that one a wild pitch. So the runner moves down to third with a 1-1 count and 1 out. So a fly ball would bring him in. The pitch. And again, that's going to get away, and there's no way they're going to get him. Pass ball. That one bounced up. And it has been those kinds of misfortunes that have created the problems for the Bruins the last 2 games. So Taylor has a 2-1 count. And the runner advanced all the way home on a pass ball, a wild pitch, and another pass ball. And that one's going to the third baseman, makes the long throw over to first, and Maddox digs it out for out number 2. But the Eagles now up 9-6. That's going to put a lot more pressure on the Bruins in the final 2 innings. And with 2 down, here comes Ethan Burks, the right fielder. He's been on base twice with walks. He was called out on strikes back in the 3rd. And that's high and outside for a ball. Case Cubbles, the left fielder, would be next. And the pitch. That's a high foul that's going to be out of play. They took a look at it, but too far out of range. So we got a 1-1 count with 2 outs. Hope you're enjoying your weekend wherever you are. Say hello to all the grandparents and the aunts, uncles, cousins, and good friends of all of these players for both teams. Glad to have you aboard today. That's one of the joys of streaming video, is that we can bring these to you if you can't be here in person. A ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. And the pitch. Outside, ball 2. So it's 2s across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. But nobody on. And the pitch to Burks. Just missed it. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Foster is in his 3rd inning of work. And the pitch. And that's fouled back just behind our press box. So we'll spin the wheel again on a 3-2 count. And the pitch. That's a fly ball that is going to be just beyond the infield. Second baseman underneath and takes it for out number 3. But the Eagles picked up 2 runs on 1 hit and a walk. No errors, and they had no one left on base. So at the end of 5.5 innings, it is Chester County 9, USJ 6.
Ready for spring cleaning? Don't forget your HVAC system. Somebody needs to clean out all that dust and grime, and that somebody is us. Let McCoy's Heating and Air professionally clean your system so cool air can flow where it needs to go. Schedule now and you can get your cleaning for only $90. Call McCoy's Heating and Air at 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com. McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians.
Carlac Prestige is not your typical used car dealer. We have everything from a Porsche to to this, and lots more. We inspect and repair all our vehicles. Ask us to prove it. We will.
Carlac Prestige, Van Drive, Jackson.
At Arrington Funeral Directors, we accept all prearranged funerals. So you may have prearranged your funeral in this town with another funeral home or even in another state, but we accept all prearranged funerals because we're here to serve families.
Caleb Cole has done a good job in relief for Chester County. He has held the Bruins to only 1 hit. He's struck out 2. And in this inning, he's going to face Jackson Sills, the designated hitter, Brooks Jones, and Logan Foster. Bottom of the order. And Bruins trailing by 3 after knotting it all up with a 6-run third inning. And his fastball was outside. Nope, they said he hit the corner. No balls and 1 strike. As I say, he has one of those slow motion calls on his strikes. And the wind and the pitch. That one's low. A ball and a strike. Jackson had a 2-run single back in the third. He grounded out in the second. 1 for 2 today. And the pitch. And that one is going to be a slow roller to the second baseman. He's going to have to hurry, and he makes it. Score that as an error on the second baseman. He had a hard time digging that out of his glove and then threw down in the dirt to the first baseman trying to rush it. So an error. That's the first error of the game for the Eagles, and that gives an opportunity for the Bruins to get something going. Brooks Jones singled and scored in the third inning and grounded out in the third as well. He went up to the plate. He was one of the 10 men who went to the plate in the third, and that one is outside for ball 1. So let's see if Brooks can tee off on another one. As Cole waits on the pitch. And he committed to that one. Ball and a strike. He tried to hold up, but he knew he had gone around. Cole with his delivery. And got him to go around on that one. A ball and 2 strikes. Brooks wanted that one, and that one just sailed away from him. The wind and the pitch. And that one's fouled out of play. So we're still at 1-2 with a runner on first. Bruins trailing by 3, but nobody out here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. And Cole delivers. And that one is going to get second baseman with another outstanding play, and they dig it out at first for out number 1. And that's about the third one today that he has been able to snag that looked like it was headed into the outfield for a base hit, but it did move Jackson Sills over to second on the fielder's choice. Kyson Taylor he's earned his paycheck today. And here's Logan Foster, who has been at third base and pitcher today. And Logan has walked and grounded out. He took a strike. But he's got Jackson Sills down at second. And Jackson gets a pretty good lead. And that one is going to slice foul down in fact, that's going to go out of play. Hit the top of the fence and went over into the grass behind it. And you can see some of our fans who are enjoying this beautiful sunshine this afternoon. And that one is going to go to the shortstop, and he fires on to first for out number 2, but the runner moves on to third. And that brings up Kurt Salmons. He singled and scored in the third. He's also grounded out and struck out. So let's see if Kurt can bring in Jackson Sills and get this down to a 2-run lead. And that one goes low, ball 1. Max Kilburn, the catcher, would be next. The wind and the pitch. Caught the outside corner, a ball and a strike. Bruins 6 runs, 8 hits, 4 errors. Eagles 9 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. And Jackson taking his lead. And that one is a high fly ball that they're going to have to run hard on this one. And the left fielder, Case Couples, makes a nice running grab on that one for out number 3. So the Bruins got one man on, but couldn't do anything with it. It was no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. So we are going to the 7th. Eagles 9, Bruins 6.
Fleet Feet, your locally owned source for the best shoes for school, work, running, and everyday comfort. They offer a 3D scan of your feet and professional fitting. Fleet Feet sells the top-selling brands Hoka, OnCloud, and Brooks. To add comfort to your spikes or other performance shoes, let Fleet Feet fit you for a pair of arch support inserts. Get the quality you want and the service you deserve at Fleet Feet in Jackson on Oil Well Road beside Walgreens.
At Dynamics Physical Therapy, we help our clients get back to doing what they love. Dynamics is now serving communities throughout West Tennessee.
Nolan Foster in his 4th inning of relief work. As we start the top half of the 7th, he'll be facing Case Couples, the left fielder, Aiden Timby, the center fielder, and the shortstop, Jace Goff. Couples actually doesn't have an official at bat. He has 2 walks and a sacrifice. He scored a run on a double in the 3rd. And that gets away for ball 1. That first inning was just where the big damage was done by Chester County, and the Bruins did rally to tie it at 6-all in the 3rd inning, but they gave up a run in the 4th and 2 in the 6th to Chester County. And got him around on that one. 2 balls and a strike. And Foster's done a solid job of pitching. He's had 4 strikeouts. And that one's away, 3 balls and a strike. If you're a Bruin fan, you want to see them hold them right where they are and give yourself a chance for another multi-run rally in the 7th. And he went around on that one again. Couples really wanted to tee off on that one. 3 balls and 2 strikes. We've gone full. Foster likes his signal and the pitch. And low for ball 4. So once again, they open up with a walk. And that's the 3rd time that Couples has reached first on a base on balls, and that brings up Aiden Timby. He's officially 1 for 1. He has had a double and an RBI. He had a bases loaded walk, and he got on base on a walk in the 5th. And Giles is going to go to the bullpen, and so while he does, we'll take this break. In 60 seconds, we'll be back.
Thompson & Smith, the area's premier independent insurance brokerage, has been serving families and businesses in the region through its founding companies since 1927. With their many insurance company partners, Thompson & Smith provides insurance products for family, home and auto, contractors, retailers, restaurants, manufacturers, medical and dental clinics, as well as any other business or organization seeking quality coverage, risk management expertise, and customer-focused service. Call them today to discuss your insurance needs.
Are you looking to build a career? Build a career with West Tennessee's own H&M Company. H&M is a leading coast-to-coast industrial design and construction firm for Fortune 500 companies. Founded in Milan in 1957 and headquartered in Jackson, H&M is actively hiring in all areas of construction and engineering. Visit us at hmcompany.com to start building your career today.
So Braden Jones becomes the fourth pitcher for the Bruins this afternoon. Steps in relief of Nolan Foster. And Nolan went 3 innings. And interestingly, he only gave up 1 hit. Where he had a couple of issues was he had 3 walks in the game, including the one that has put Case Couples on first base. And there was an error that created a run that was the go-ahead run in the 4th inning. So Foster would stand to be the losing pitcher in this game if the Bruins cannot rally. So Jones is facing Aiden Timby, and he goes for the bunt. And heads up alert play. They got the sacrifice, but good play on the part of Jones for the out. So that goes as a sacrifice and moves the runner over to second. And here comes Jace Goff, the shortstop. So far today is 0 for 3. He's walked and scored, but he has also flied out and grounded out twice. And that one just inside. A ball and no strikes. Runner on second. And Jones delivers. And that one is driven. That's going to be in the gap. They're not going to be able to get that one. It goes between the center fielder and the right fielder, and that brings in run number 10 with a sliding double. And they're going to try to hold him off from going to third, and indeed they do. But a run-scoring double for Jace Goff. And we got a 10-6 game now. Brooks Johnson, the catcher, left-handed hitter, takes one on the corner for strike 1. He is 0 for 4 today. He did reach base and score on a fielder's choice. He struck out and flied out twice. And that one's going to the second shortstop, and Maddox could not dig it out, and the run is going to score. Scored all the way from second base on that. So score that an error. And Johnson makes it in to first, and Goff comes in with run number 11. Do not score that as an RBI in case you're keeping score at home. Hunter McLemore, the third baseman, he's done a lot of damage today. 2 doubles. He also got on base with a walk and an error. He's been on base every time he has been up. That one's outside for a ball. So the Bruins gave it a good ride in the third to tie this one at 6, but it has just been trickles that have allowed Chester County to pad this back out to an 11-6 lead and on only 6 hits. And the pitch to McLemore. That's a high fly ball. I think that's going to stay. No, it's out of play. It looked for a bit like it was going to stay in. It went up in the went up into the bleacher area over to our left. So a ball and a strike and 1 out. And 2 more runs have come in here in the 7th for Chester County. And the runner's going, and that one just goes down into the dirt. They can't stop him, and so another stolen base. They are aggressive base runners. And today, that is the 4th stolen base for Chester County. So McLemore has a 2-1 count and now a runner in scoring position. And the pitch, high and inside, 3 balls and a strike. The Bruins would have the Kilburns and Clennon Hardin in the 7th. And the pitch to McLemore, and 3 balls and 2 strikes. Boy, he was aiming for that left field fence. Here's the wind and the pitch. Got him for strike 3. Just caught the inside corner for out number 2. So that's the first strikeout for Jones. And it's the 6th strikeout on the day for Bruins pitchers. And here's Caleb Cole, who stands to be the winning pitcher in this game. An 0-1 count with a runner on second. And Cole has been tough to get out today. He's officially 2 for 3. He struck out once, but he had a run-scoring double. He had a single and scored in the 6th. And he walked and scored in the 1st. 1-1 count in the pitch, and he slices that one foul out of play. Ball and 2 strikes. And we await the 1-2 pitch. And that one's going to the second baseman, and he fires on to first for out number 3. But 2 more runs came in on 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. So we have reached the end of 6.5. We got to go get 'em Bruins. It is Chester County 11, USJ 6.
Turn to the experts. Since 1955, Garrett Plumbing and Heating has been the leader in plumbing, heating, and air conditioning service and installation for West Tennessee. A proud supporter of USJ Bruin Athletics, we are your local Carrier Factory authorized dealer. Call Garrett Plumbing and Heating, 668-3339, for all of your plumbing, heating, and air needs.
For anyone contemplating pre-planning, we can tell you from our experience, it's much easier to make funeral plans and record them now than wait until emotions are running at their highest.
With pre-planning, you can free your mind and heart from having to make big decisions during a time of grief and instead enjoy the freedom to focus on the memories of a life well lived.
Now Caleb Cole finishing up his warm-up tosses, and he has been solid in relief. And he's had some good fielding behind him. He came in the 4th inning in relief. The game was tied at 6. He came in relief of the starter, McKinley Hopkins, and he has done a good job all the way around. He's only allowed 1 hit for the Bruins since he came in. And the Bruins need to get everybody up they can. Max Kilburn starts it. And that one's going to go to the second baseman on to first for out number 1. Now, I know Bruins fans don't want to see a rerun of last night in which it was 3 pitches and 3 outs to end the game. And Bruins need a lot of base runners, and here comes Nash Kilburn. Nash officially 1 for 2. He walked, he singled, had an RBI, and scored in the 3rd. takes that one for a ball. And Nash flied out to center field in the fourth. And that's a high fly ball. Center fielder making a long run, and it's going to drop in for a base hit. You got to hand it to Aiden Timby. He took on a huge run. He was sprinting out toward that one, but it was just out of his reach. And so for the Bruins, that is hit number 10. Let's see if they can bunch a few more together. Here is Clennon Harden, the shortstop, with a runner on first and one out. Clennon had a single and scored back in the third. And that one is going to stay in play. It did, but it was out of the range of the first baseman who went on the chase. Clennon grounded out to the shortstop in the first inning and struck out in the fifth. So 1 for 3 on the day. And Cole way outside on his 0-1 delivery. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. And Nash Kilburn, always a threat to go down there at first. Cole delivers, and that one is a fly ball that is going to get out of the infield, and it gets between the fielders, and he gets in there to second, so give him a base hit. Nash had to wait to see if that ball was going to be caught, and so that's why it was a closer play than it probably should have been, but that's a clean hit for Clennon Harden, dropping in between 3 fielders, and here comes Hondo Wyatt Scott. He had a run-scoring double in the third inning, had a single in the fifth, and grounded out in the second. So he's 2 for 3. And hit the outside corner for strike 1. So Bruins trying to make some noise with 1 out in the 7th, trailing 11-6. And that one got around on that late. No balls and 2 strikes. They're playing him to pull. If he hit one late and got it, there's a lot of room out there in right field. The pitch to Hondo. And got him in the neck. So we have some action going now. So the hit batsman loads them up and will bring up Maddox Rabin. Maddox is 0 for 3 today. He's flied out to the catcher twice and hit into a double play. Let's have some Monday night heroics for Maddox. That one down in the dirt, ball and no strikes. Hey, you'll take a bases-loaded walk if you can get another one in. Jackson Sills would be next. The pitch, and that one is, that could be trouble, and he's making a long run, and that is going to bring home 1. They can't get anybody else in, but Maddox went to that open gap over there in right field and brings in a run. So we've got an 11-7 game now as Nash Kilburn came in with run number 7. And here's Jackson Sills. Jackson 1 for 3. He's grounded out. He had a 2-run single in the third, and he reached base on an error. That one just outside, a ball and no strikes, and the bases jammed. Cole delivers. Into the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. Nowhere to put him. Brooks Jones and Logan Foster would follow. And the pitch. And that's a high fly ball that is going to be taken by the first baseman for out number 2. So Brooks Jones is the last hope here for the Bruins. Boy, I tell you, this place would erupt if Brooks could tee off on one and it goes over the fence, because we'd have a tie game. Brooks singled and scored in the third, and he's also grounded out twice. Bases loaded, 2 down. And Cole delivers. And the high fly ball, and it's in range of, in foul territory, taken by the first baseman for out number 3. So it was, they made an effort at it, 1 run on 2 hits. They had a hit batsman, no errors, and 3 men left on base. So your final score is Chester County 11, USJ nothing. Back with all the totals in just 60 seconds.
King Jewelers is not your typical run-of-the-mill jewelry store. Grover is a certified jeweler with 35 years experience. This isn't just a jewelry store. It's an iconic symbol of love. How far would you go for love? King Jewelers, 16B Conrad Drive, Jackson.
Ready for spring cleaning? Don't forget your HVAC system. Somebody needs to clean out all that dust and grime, and that somebody is us. Let McCoy's Heating and Air professionally clean your system so cool air can flow where it needs to go. Schedule now and you can get your cleaning for only $90. Call McCoy's Heating and Air at 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com. McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians.
Well, this was one where it's been like the story that we've seen a lot in the last 3 weeks with the Bruins. They got behind with a lot of bases on balls. In fact, 5 walks in the first inning, and that led to 4 runs for Chester County. And the Eagles added 2 more in the second and third to go up 6-0, and then here came the wake-up call, and the Bruins put 6 on the board with 7 hits in the third inning of play, bunched together a lot of singles and doubles, and did it without the benefit of a walk in that inning, and tied the game at 6. But little by little, it was almost like watching just slow rallies and deliveries on the part of Chester County as they added another one in the fourth that was on a fluke situation with an error that led to the run. And then they had 2 in the sixth and 2 in the seventh to take it over the Bruins 11-7. And you had some good days on the part of some of the Bruins today, because Wyatt Scott delivered 2 hits, including a run-scoring double, and he was hit by a pitch ball, and it looked like that rally might be even better in the seventh. But they left 3 men on base with 2 flyouts to the first baseman. Certainly you'd have to say that there was some outstanding fielding on the part of second baseman Kyson Taylor. He had 3 stops at second on plays that looked like they were going to be sure base hits for the Bruins. And certainly he had a tremendous effort in the game today, even though he did not get a hit, went 0 for 4. But you would have to say probably that our outstanding player of the game, you would give that one to Caleb Cole, who started as the designated hitter, and then after that 6-run rally, they brought him in relief, and he held the Bruins to a single run after that, and that one came in the seventh, and he scattered 4 hits. He had 1 strikeout, and was the beneficiary of a lot of excellent fielding plays that certainly made a big difference in the game. And so Cole gets the victory. And Nolan Foster, who went 4 innings in relief for the Bruins and actually did a solid job, it was just walks again that created the problems. The Bruins walked 8 batters today, and Those bases on balls will get you every time. Time of our game this afternoon was 2 hours and 19 minutes. And so it'll be a senior night on Monday when the Bruins are right back here, and we will be here on BallGame Blitz Sports Network in Worthy Road Studios. And a reminder to everyone, at 3 o'clock this afternoon, our head of our trucking company, our good friend Paul Schultze, will be headed on over for Jackson Christian at Kirk Academy. And Kirk Academy at Jackson Christian. Pardon me, we're not going down to Grenada, Mississippi, but we're right here. It'll be over. He's got to make a quick trip across town. And so that game will be coming your way at 3 o'clock this afternoon here on the BallGame Blitz Sports Network. So not a good day for the Bruins, but hopefully they'll have a better evening at the prom tonight and all enjoy that monumental and very, very exciting time in their lives. So these are the people who made it possible. The executive producer of the BallGame Blitz Sports Network in Worthy Road Studios is Paul Schultze, who also directed our telecast. Today's producer, Stephanie Janda, and on camera was Eric Inman. I'm Steve Beverly, and until we're with you on Monday night for another USJ Bruin game, how about this? Remember to come back to see us every chance you get, and so long from the great hub city of West Tennessee.
The BallGame Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios. With over 750,000 views in 2022, we are where you need to advertise. Please subscribe to our Worthy Road Studios YouTube channel and join the other 4,000 subscribers watching local sports, including Union University, USJ, TCA, Jackson Christian, and Peabody. Our multi-camera broadcasts include slow-motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers. Thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible. BallGame Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios, the premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee.